Welcome, one and all, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 480. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always. Well, my suspenders are hidden today. They're not set to maximum stun. Sound check. Sound check is good. All right, let's move that over there so that I'm not consuming my own bandwidth. Good to have you on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Got a great show for you today. We will be playing some more old Wolfenstein The Old Blood, as we have been for many weeks now. This is episode 6 of Wolfenstein The Old Blood, I believe. We've been doing it for six weeks now, I think. And I've got over 5.5 hours into the game. It's a blast, I have to say. As I do all sorts of Fallout all week long, sometimes all weekend long, sometimes multiple weeks long. And it's nice to take a break every now and then and try something new. No music. Let's see if we can fix that. All right, music's there. Let me see what it sounds like in the live broadcast while I get a cigar ready. All right, well, I know when it's going to happen. All right, so today we will be smoking an Oliva Serie 5 Liga Especial. Still no music. Yep, still no music. All right, let me try something else here. It's not the desktop audio. Well, great. Oh, there's always something. So well, at least the microphone has been working, so I can tell you what I've been working on. I have been cleaning up my office a bit, as you can see. The boxes behind me are now gone. That's because I've finally organized them all. And I've been getting new hardware in preparation for my live streams of Fallout 76. And in so doing, I have a brand new monitor here. And for some reason, installing a new monitor just makes everything messed up. I messed up Adobe Premiere. It messed up Fallout 4. And apparently it's also messed up the audio in my in my live stream. Looking good. Okay, good to have you all here. So it looks like the stream itself is doing fine. It's just the audio. Why? I mean, I've got the desktop audio here. Let me change the properties here. NVIDIA high definition audio. Let's try that. Check, check, check. Nope, that's not it either. Okay, let's try Realtek high definition audio. Is that it? Nope, that's not it either. What? Do you see yourself on the camera? Yeah. You getting ready for beds and baths with Mama? Yeah. You're gonna brush your teeth? Yeah. And put on your jammies. And then sleep. Yeah. Aww. Well, you need to leave Daddy alone now. Daddy's doing his work, okay? Mwah. Love you. Good night. All right. Realtek digital optical output? No, it's not working. Let's try. It should be default. I don't know. Well, this means that I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the game, and that's frustrating to me. Oh, you should be able to hear it now. It's moving around. All right, I'm going to check the stream. I'm going to check the live broadcast. No, it's not working. Okay, I'm going to push pause. Let's try. Yes, I'm hearing myself. It should be default. I know. I should have these things figured out, but I don't. It's a work in progress. I don't know. Well, this means that I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the game, and that's frustrating to me. Oh, you should be able to hear it now. It's moving around. It's okay. It's working. It's good. It's good. I can cut my cigar And, oh, I should probably turn the music back on now. Yeah, there we go. All right, music is on. We've got our music. We can listen to our gameplay. I've got my cigar. I kissed the babies goodnight. And what is there left to do? The show. Okay, the show. Cut my cigar. And oh, scotch. Here's my scotch. Oh, I got my scotch. Okay, we're drinking some 10-year-old Lafroig Scotch whiskey today. Here's the sound. That's what we all came for. That's right, a gentlemanly portion. Just enough to get us through the hour. Or two. All right, I got my cutter. I'll put my cutter there. Fire. Fire. Where's fire? I need fire. That's the last thing. We can't do this without fire. Oh. There we go. Things are coming together. We've got a show. Ladies and gents, now to get the chat up so I can see what you guys are saying. Dawson Holiday says, Oxhorn, why do you think Caesar wants Vegas? He says he wants his Rome, but Vegas is so great only because it embraces everything the Legion is against. Capitalism, individualism, gambling, and drinking. Well, yeah, but see, that's the way it works. The capitalists build society, and that society looks great. And then the authoritarians or the communists will see that and go, ooh, that's a nice little jewel. I could use that. And so they swoop in and take it without realizing that the capitalism that created that wonderful world, with it gone, that wonderful world crumbles. So Caesar has no plan for maintaining Vegas, let alone improving upon it and turning it into a commerce center of the Mojave. He sees it as a golden throne. It's just another jewel to add to his gem-encrusted crown. The foresight in that man is sadly lacking. Cole Mowry says, I love you and your hat. Well, thank you. I love my hat, too. I struggled with myself. Should I bring my hat with me to West Virginia when I go or not? And I ultimately decided not to. And my reason was I wasn't really going as Oxhorn. Like when I go to conventions to meet with the viewers and shake hands and all that, I'll go as Oxhorn. I've got my hat and all of that. But I was going to kind of like an industry event. The only other people who were going to be there would be other journalists and other YouTubers. Not a lot of fans or viewers. So I decided not to go as Oxhorn. I went as Brandon. And I didn't wear my hat. But I still had a good time. Dolly Bustle says, it's always good to see your kids. It means you're not a synth. Well, that's true. That's synths cannot reproduce. Jackson Andrews says, Ox, have you ever heard of Daft Punk? Yes, I have heard of Daft Punk, and I agree with you. Great music. I am a fan. I tell you what, I loved what they did on the... it was on the tip of my tongue. They did the soundtrack to that movie. Yeah. This microphone is like right in my face. I just want to bat it away with my nose. Here, let's see what happens if I push this down. Is that better? Can you hear me still? That's a little bit less out of, or that's more out of my way. They did the soundtrack to T. Did it start with the T? It was a remake of an old... It wasn't really a remake. There was a lot of neon, and they went into the computer world. Tron! Yes, thank you, Tron! Daft Punk did that. Thank you, everybody. I knew it started with a T. They did the soundtrack to Tron, and I love that soundtrack, and I started getting really into them after I learned that tidbit. Man, it's happening more. These brain farts I get where I know the thing. It's there somewhere. I just gotta dig it out of my mind. Ben Bex, subscriber on YouTube with Tron. Yes. Thank you very much, Ben. He said it like multiple times too, and I just missed it. He had to say it 3 times before I saw it. Plarby is in the chat. Hey there, Plarby. Good to have you on the program. Miggy says he's getting old. I know. I'm getting old. I have friends who talk about how horrible their lives are because they're turning 40. I'm 37. I'm almost to 40, but I don't feel 40 or 37, really. I don't really feel all that different than the way I felt 10 years ago. Every now and then something will slip, like I'll forget the name of a movie like Tron, but mostly I'm okay. Nocturne Chanson says, do you think people from Vault 76 would have agoraphobia? Oh, the likelihood is probably strong. What, 500 people in Vault 76, many of whom lived their entire lives there? Actually, more than 500, because 500 were admitted, but they likely reproduced during that time. So you have an entire generation of people who grew up in a vault stepping outside for the first time. Agoraphobia. Totally. Would you rather live in the Mojave Wasteland or the Commonwealth? Ooh, that's a good question. Oh, where would I rather live? Killed by a Legion slaver. Eaten by a mutant. It's a tough one. There's so much good about both. I think I'd probably enjoy, if we take away all of the hazards, man, I'm just bad at this. I'm knocking on the microphone. If we take away all of the hazards, I think I'd enjoy looking at the Commonwealth on a day-to-day basis. It's beautiful. There are scary parts like the glowing sea, but it's beautiful, right? The Mojave is also beautiful in its own way, but there's so much of it that's dead and barren and desolate. Hey, new member. Thank you, Jason. Kitten Baby says, Oxhorn, I just wanted to say how much I love you and your work. You really get into the story and lore. You're my favorite. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you're on the program today. Mr. Real Madrid Bernubu says, New Vegas Strip. That's true. New Vegas does have the strip. But I've never been much of a gambler. I went to the Greenbrier for the Bethesda event. They had a casino and I didn't gamble. I could have gambled. I probably should have gambled, but I enjoyed watching other people gamble. Here's the secret. It was such a taxing event for Bethesda that they really let loose at night. The Bethesda employees, they liked to throw their money away. There were a bunch of them gambling, and we YouTubers, there were like 3 of us YouTubers just watching all of these Bethesda employees blowing 100 here, blowing 100 there. We're like, keep it up. We'll just enjoy the show. I've never been big on gambling. I can play 21. I can play a little bit of 5-car stud. Not good at anything else. Plarby says Fallout 4 looks mostly like a cold, snowless winter. I can see that. My earliest memories are from growing up in Alaska, so maybe there's something to that. Taz Grigsby says, Ox, why do you think all of the videos about 76 were so negative except yours? I think it's one of those things where we have our own preconceived notions, and then we look for the news that we want to see. I mean, everyone's guilty of that. I think you're guilty of that. I think I'm guilty of that. We kind of know what we want to expect, and then we look for the news that agrees with our own opinion. Because my experience both playing the game and talking with other people who have played the game is the exact opposite of what you just said. A lot of the journalists and industry people who produced content on Monday were glowing about the game. I mean, IGN, Polygon, Destructoid, all of these major news outlets came out with glowing articles talking about how it's going to be a good game. A lot of the YouTubers that I knew produced content where they were pretty even-handed about it. So it's hard for me to understand your question because if there were a lot of really negative reports about Fallout 76, I didn't read them. The majority of negative criticism I read about Fallout 76 are from people who have never played the game, which is interesting. Now, there's definitely criticism about the game. I included a little bit of criticism in my video on my final thoughts about Fallout 76 after having played it, and many of the other YouTubers out there whom I've been watching have said similar things. You know, it's not Fallout 5. If you're walking into it expecting this huge world that you can take your time and slowly, consume, it's not exactly like that. It's a little bit faster paced. There's a lot of people there. It's just not the same. Hey there, Gwen. What you doing? Did you put a mop on the... Look at this. She put a mop on her dog. Here, show the camera. Is that a mop? Is that a wig? Show them what you put it back on the dollar. She made hair for her doll out of a mop, out of a toy mop. All right, now go. Bye-bye, kiddos. Oh, man. See, the problem is I have to have my door open to allow a channel of air to pass through my office so the smoke all goes out. Because of that, the kids are running in. Yeah, what can I say? And Jessica Sharp says, thanks to your Vault 76 video, I might play it now. Yeah, everyone said I shouldn't spend that long in Vault 76. Even many of the people from Bethesda I talked to, I was telling them my plan. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go into Vault 76. I'm going to read every terminal. I'm going to really get the story. And they're like, don't do that. There's so much more. You're going to waste your time in Vault 76. You only have 3 hours. But I decided to do it anyway because, doggone it, if there was lore, I was going to find the lore. And I'm glad I did. There was enough lore in Vault 76 for a 45-minute episode. I mean, it's not a little bit of lore. And then we moved on to Flatwoods, and that was a 55-minute episode of just lore, and I missed stuff. There were holotapes I couldn't even listen to because we completely ran out of time. So that was one of the just refreshing things about being able to play Fallout 76 is that I learned that there's lore. It's not just a world, a sandbox world that's been procedurally generated where the only content is what other players provide. That's not the game I wanted to play. And I was afraid of that. That was my great fear. I was afraid we were going to log into the world and it would just be this wasteland with cool guns, and then we'd have to talk with other people or engage with other people, and that was the content, partying and grouping. No, that's completely the opposite. There's a world there. And I had to find that. I had to find the vestiges of whatever world was there. And there are mysteries there. Why is everyone in Flatwood dead? What killed them 6 years ago in 2096? I gotta know. I want to know. I gotta play the game and find out. That's the first thing on my agenda. Play Fallout 76. Find out why everyone in Flatwoods is dead. Jessica Slater says, I just returned from Wasteland Weekend last week. I'm wondering, since it's such a welcoming post-apocalyptic event with heavy Fallout presence, have you considered attending? You'd be very welcome. You're not the first one to ask me whether or not I'm going to or have been to Wasteland Weekend. It sounds fascinating. Oh man, it's the schedule is what it is. I mean, I don't know if I've got time. Maybe someday. Vellingham says Oxhorn for Fallout 76 when they said you could play on your own, but must share the server with other players. Is it possible to set up a private game, but only have yourself play it? Or must there be at least one other player? At the moment, no. At the moment, it's a multiplayer game. Now, they've said that they're still thinking about private servers. That's still on the table. And presumably, if you created your own private server, you could make it so that only you would play it. That's a possibility. But that's not going to be on release. It's far into the future. So, I mean, it's a multiplayer game. We just have to... It's when I heard the news that it was going to be a multiplayer game, I didn't know how to handle it. You watched me hear that news for the first time live on this program. I kind of wasn't sure how to take it. But it's a multiplayer game. It's not Fallout 4. It's not Fallout 5. It's a different sort of beast. And we kind of have to embrace that and... if we want to play it, deal with it. Now, will there be private servers? They've said that they're working on it, so we can hope for the best. That gamer says, hello, Ox. What are you most excited for Fallout 76? Please, I love your videos. I'm most excited about... I want to find out what happened to the Overseer. I want to know why Vault Tech sent her to get missile silos Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. I want to know whether or not Vault Tech is still around, because we get a lot of hints that they might be from some of the content we read in Vault 76, which would be crazy. If Vault Tech is still around, it is only 25 years after the apocalypse. They could still be around. I want to know. So there's a lot that I want to know. Wow, lots of comments. It's just flying off the screen. All right, I'm trying to get to them all. Checkpoint Saved says, how did the Nuka Dark taste? I keep getting this question. I'm kicking myself. I didn't taste it while I was there. He says, I was thinking about buying a bottle, so smash or pass. P.S. I love your videos. Keep up the good work, you dapper man. Thank you. I didn't taste it while I was out. I did buy a bottle, so when it arrives, I'll taste it on the program and share my thoughts with you. I talked with other people who tasted it, and strangely enough, the people I talked to said they didn't like it, which surprised me. So I probably should have tried it to find out for myself. They said it tasted very fruity. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of fruity rum, so I don't know if I'll like it. But when I get a bottle, I'll let you know. Jordan says, Hawks, do you think that Fallout 76 will be extensive enough to gain hours and hours and hours of time like we got out of Fallout 4? Or do you think that once the story side is up, it'll be mostly multiplayer content? I mean, it's a bit of both. The story that I did happen to see didn't seem thin. It seemed like thick, fully fledged, well-written, hand-tailored content. So I think that content is going to be there for a while for us to enjoy. Now, that said, we will get to an end of it. And at that time, it's the multiplayer aspect of the game that'll keep us coming back. So we can only hope that we enjoy the multiplayer part of the game and collecting weapons and improving our character enough to keep playing after we understand the story. I mean, that's presumably how they'll make the game. The guy keeps going out. Okay, gotta find more. Buff Canucks says, I love your live streams and Fallout vids. Can't wait to watch you play Fallout 76. I can't wait either. I'm gearing up. I'm trying to get this office ready. Marius Vicus says, can you do an FEV lore video? Yeah, I mean, I've touched on it quite a bit. I did an entire video on the FEV lab within the Institute, where the Institute made the super mutant. So if you want to know about FEV in Fallout 4, watch that video. And then I did an entire video on FEV, how it was created, Mariposa Military Base, and the Glow. I covered that in 2 videos in my Fallout 1 series, so watch my video on the Glow, and then watch my video on the Mariposa Military Base. I'll be covering FEV in Fallout 3 when we reach Vault 87, I think is what it's called. So, I mean, yeah, I got a lot of content to do before I tackle that one. Mr. Warship says, personally, I'd like to ask you if the Fallout universe would mix into the Mad Max universe. I myself love the idea of utilizing oil in the wastes. The most Mad Maxian the Fallout universe was in Fallouts 1 and, to a lesser extent, 2. They were clearly inspired by Mad Max and the movie A Boy and His Dog and other, 1980s, 1990s post-apocalyptic media. They moved away from that in a bit in Fallout 2 and then definitely in Fallout 3 when it became more retro-futuristic and with a greater emphasis on nuclear technology. That was really the defining thing because the Mad Max universe already existed. And if Bethesda and Interplay were going to be working on a new franchise, they wanted it to be a bit different. That's my reasoning, I think. But we can, of course, role-play anything we want to with the understanding that fossil fuels had pretty much been depleted due to the fossil fuel wars. I mean, all of Europe had devolved into warring city-states due to the lack of fossil fuels. We invaded, but I say we. The the Fallout pre-war America invaded and annexed Canada for fossil fuels because they had run out of their own. There was food rationing in downtown Boston because they were running out of fossil fuels. So to find a lot of oil 200 years after the apocalypse, if it was rare then, and it's probably unlikely that we would find it 200 years after the apocalypse. But we can roleplay anything we want. That Gamer says, when you're done with all of the Fallout lore, what are you going to do after that? There's no end in sight. People have been asking that question for 3 years on my program. Ox, what are you going to do when you're out of Fallout stuff to talk about? Hasn't happened yet. And now I've got a new Fallout game to talk about. I don't think I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about. Part of me has been looking forward to the day when I would run out of lore to talk about so that I could move on to something else. I was thinking about going on into Metro. Here was the plan. Before they announced Fallout 76, I had it all planned out. I was going to be doing Metro Exodus a lot. I was going to be playing Metro Exodus, maybe some Red Dead Redemption 2. Then I heard about Cyberpunk 2077. I'm like, oh man, that's great. But then they announced Fallout 76. I'm like, I'm only one man. I can't do it all. So back to Fallout 76 it is. But there's a lot of other stuff I'm interested in. Maybe I should just hire someone to do the content for my channel that I want to do, but I can't do because I'm only one man. Corey says, I always find it easier to clean when I'm getting paid to do it. Maybe this will help inspire you to clean to greater heights. Corey gives me a $20 tip. Thank you very much to clean my office. You know your office is bad if people tip you to clean it. Thank you, Corey. It's better though, right? Well, okay. That box wasn't there yesterday. I had the boxes gone yesterday, but then I moved that box in. It'll get there. It'll get there. Scott says, did you meet Todd Howard while at the Greenbrier? No, he wasn't feeling well. Yeah, he wasn't feeling well, so he didn't show up. Got to meet Pete Hines, got to meet many of the other employees at Bethesda, but didn't get to meet Todd. Dawson says, in Van Buren, there were 3 space stations with 24 nuclear missiles, the ballistic orbital missile bases, or bombs. The first was involved in the main story. The third's construction was never finished. Yes, and in Fallout 76, we get to explore a downed space station that at one time had been orbiting Earth. At least that's what everyone thinks it is. We don't know for sure. I can't tell you because I found it. I'm just repeating what I heard. But it looks like one of the orbiting space stations. Could it be one of those stations that we first learned about in Van Buren? I don't know. Maybe. I know Bethesda sometimes borrows from Van Buren. Obsidian definitely did. They pulled the Van Graffs from Van Buren. They pulled the Twin Mothers from Van Buren. A lot of other stuff like that. But is all of Van Buren canonical? I don't really know. It'll be interesting to see what we find. That's another reason I'm excited for Fallout 76. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, Caleb S. The Rusty Golf Club says, hey, Oxhorn, I'm not very satisfied with 76. I don't really like the paid private servers, but watching you do lore will make this pill go down easier. I could be wrong. I don't pretend to know everything about it, but I don't recall ever hearing that private servers would be paid. I'm happy to be proven wrong if you've got anything you'd like to share, but I sat down at a table with 3 Bethesda devs, and we asked. There were about 6 of us who asked questions, and one of those questions was on the private servers, and they didn't say anything about the private servers having to be paid for. So that if what you're saying is accurate, that's news to me. Shales says, last stream, asked you 2 questions. I got one answer, but you didn't understand the other. So again, later on in the future, is it okay for me to buy or give a PS4? You can buy whatever you want, man. You don't need my permission. Are you talking about buying me a PS4? I don't want a PS4. I appreciate it. That's very kind. Thank you. But I don't want it. I'm not a console gamer. As I learned the hard way at Greenbrier, I sat there for 3 hours with a controller in my hand trying to get some decent gameplay footage out of that Xbox, and as many of you know, I struggled. I'm not a console gamer, but if that was an offer, I do appreciate the thought. Thank you very much. Fleet Master Michael says, Ox, was there an in-game date? Because if it's up 24/7, eventually the years go by and the Brotherhood of Steel / Enclave escape synths could make their way to West Virginia. There was an in-game date. That's one thing I noticed and forgot to mention in any of my videos. When you pull up your Pip-Boy, you get to see the date. And what's really cool is you get to, since it's real time, you get to see the seconds ticking by of... It's not like in Fallout 3 when you pull up your Pip-Boy and the time stops. No, you get to see the seconds ticking by, the minutes ticking by, because it's going by real fast, because the time is offset a bit. So eventually, it's really, depending on how long the game goes on, we'll get to 2277, the events of Fallout 3, eventually, and then 2287. So that'll be really interesting to be playing Fallout 76 at the time that the events of Fallout 3 are going on the opposite side of the continent. That will happen. Dr. Fish says, hey Oxhorn, here's a tip for your fantastic content. Do you think that things like weapon degradation and eating and drinking will make 76 more immersive and keep people coming back to play? Well, I'm biased because I don't like survival mechanics in games. I just don't. So even though I'm really excited about Fallout 76, I'm not excited about the survival mechanics. There are parts of living a human being life that are great. Eating steak, eating brisket, sleep. Those are all wonderful. But there are some things that are not, like getting hungry and getting thirsty. We can eat food. In a video game, I think it's funny if you're eating food for a status effect or for a unique benefit. But if you're eating the food just because you're hungry, that's boring to me. It's tedious. So when I was playing, even in my footage, you saw me get dehydrated and starving quite a few times because I just didn't want to bother with it. And it was annoying to have to stop what I'm doing and pull up my Pip-Boy and drink the purified water. Okay, I'm no longer thirsty. All right. That's not a fun game mechanic for me. Now, that's just me. I'm sure there are other people who really need that to feel immersed. And of course, the survival mode in Fallout 4 has been around for a very long time, and people like that aspect of the game. So, I don't think it shouldn't exist. It's not spoiling it for me, but I just don't particularly like survival mechanics. It's not my thing. I'm neglecting my Scotch. You're right. T-Mad says, how was your reaction to Bethesda removing everything you are used to, like Death Claws and Super Mutants? Where do people get these ideas? They didn't. I showed a Super Mutant in my videos. There are Death Claws there. Man. Where do these ideas come from? Like, do people just make them up? They didn't remove Super Mutants or Death Claws. Okay, I could be wrong about Death Claws. I didn't see a Death Claw personally. I did see a Super Mutant, but I did not see a Death Claw personally. But I heard there were Death Claws. I doubt very much they would remove Death Claws. Mechanical Numbario, with a wonderful tip, thank you, sir, says, so yes, there is a main quest in 76, but thing is, there cannot be player-made choices that affect the world minus the nukes, because it's a multiplayer game, so the main quest must be on rails, one ending only. Seems plausible? Yeah, you're right. That's a legitimate criticism for Fallout 76. It's not going to be like the other Fallouts where the end can go any number of ways. Like Fallout New Vegas, hundreds of ways that game can end. Just hundreds. It's not going to be like that. So we shouldn't expect that. That's why it's not Fallout 5. right? It's a different kind of Fallout. As I said in my video, talking about my thoughts on it, it's kind of like Fallout Shelter. You know, Fallout Shelter, no one, to my knowledge, got all up in arms because Fallout Shelter exists. They saw it for what it was. It's a casual game. It's a casual game with the Fallout brand that people can play to, pass the time and start a vault. No one thinks that the vaults they're creating are canonical vaults. That doesn't really matter. It's a casual game. It's a different sort of thing. And Fallout 76 is similar. It's not Fallout 5. It's a multiplayer Fallout 4. It answers the question, what if Fallout 4 was multiplayer? And that's what it is. They took that, they put it in West Virginia, they gave it its own unique story, and now we can all play together. That's what this game is. And as that, it sounds like a lot of fun. Now, we're not going to be getting the storylines that we got from all of the other single-player games because it wasn't designed to be that kind of game or to tell those kinds of stories. So yes, as a consequence, there is going to be some more linear story telling. That said, the kind of storytelling I'm most excited about is not necessarily about which game ending I'm going to get, because there's no game ending in a multiplayer game that goes on forever. The kind of storytelling I'm most excited about is the environmental storytelling that I go over in every single video I produce about Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. When we go into dungeons and we explore the ruins of buildings and we collect the holotapes and the notes, all of that is what powers the majority of my content. It's the stuff I'm interested in. It's the stuff many of us pass over while we're playing the game, and 76 is chock full of that, which is what I love. Garrett Ratchford says, hey Oxhorn, love the vids. I really hope Moundsville Prison will be a location in the game. Imagine exploring a spooky prison in the Fallout universe. I didn't hear about it, but that would be cool. I know there's an asylum somewhere in the game. I never found it, but I did see it mentioned in a holotape. That Gamer says, if Bethesda adds in cars or drivable vehicles as DLCs, would you love it or would you hate it? Well, it's not added to the game. That's one of the questions that came up is, will there be vehicles? And they said no, it's not a vehicle game. Now, if that changes in the future with an expansion or a DLC, I don't know how I would feel about it, honestly. I like the idea of traveling everywhere on foot. So having that, because, it's such a big game and we want to smell the roses as we walk around, zipping by on a motorcycle or a hover bike or flying by on a vertibird kind of ruins that a bit. So I would feel a bit weird if they did come out with vehicles. Jay Perez says, Oxford, I love your content. Chief, that... father, mother. Stogie. Yes, thank you. Cheers. Matthew Albanese says, evening Oxhorn, I hope you're enjoying your cigar and scotch this evening. I'm enjoying some McClellan's and an Enclave cigar by AJ Fernandez. I highly recommend both. Thanks for a great week of content. Yeah, smoking an Enclave cigar is a bit fitting, isn't it? But yeah, I have tried Enclave cigars and a McClellan's, and they're both delicious. Good choices. Taz Grigsby says, did they say what the time scale was? Briefly, I asked while I was playing the game, and roughly an hour is 30 minutes. I complained a little bit because when I left Vault 76, it was night. And I turned to a Bethesda employee and I said, it's night. Is there any way we can change the time of day? Because I want to shoot my footage during the day. And he said, just wait 30 minutes. All right, I'll do that. So apparently the day cycle is 30 minutes. Or something like that. Dawson Holiday says, the second bomb was hit by an asteroid sometime after the war and fell to somewhere on Earth, West Virginia may be. You mean this second orbital space station? Is that part of Van Buren canonical lore? If so, then yeah, it could have landed anywhere, including West Virginia. You just like seeing yourself on the camera, don't you? Is that your sandcastle tools? What's the comb for? The comb is for pigs. Thank you. Binary Ghost says, hey Oxhorn, I loved the 76 videos. The only thing that concerns me is how VATS works. I have to admit I'm concerned about that as well. I was so confused by it that I didn't do it. I didn't do it a lot in my gameplay. And I talked with other YouTubers after our gameplay testing, and I asked them what they thought. They were also really confused. A few of them tried it out to try and figure it out, and it's as best as we can figure it. Aside from just using VATS to find enemies around you, which is a great way to use VATS, especially mines. If you want to find landmines, use VATS. But if a Scorched is rushing at you and you use VATS, the percentage chance to hit him improves as he gets closer. And I think it kind of auto-aims. Like if you move to the side, the bullets will hit him. But not perfectly. Like if you move too much to the side, it's really weird. I'll have to do a video about it when the game comes out. Because it confuses me and that bothers me. I don't like being confused. Checkpoint Saved says, hey Oxford, I'm planning on opening a detective agency when I get my hands on Fallout 76. It'll be located atop a bar cigar lounge. Any suggestions on a name for the hybrid establishment? So it's going to be a cigar / bar / detective agency. You're asking me to be creative. You could just call it Valentine's. It sounds like the name of a bar. It sounds like the name of a cigar shop. And it's the name of a famous detective in the Fallout universe. Not Who You'd Think I Am says, what's your plan to deal with other players? I'll play with them when necessary and ignore them the rest of the time. Jason M says, is Mrs. Oxhorn interested in Fallout 76? Yeah, she's big on multiplayer games. She doesn't play a lot of single-player games. So, yeah, when I told her about Fallout 76, she seemed interested. B. Cherry Jones and Drinker says, after Wolfenstein, can you play Stanley Parable, please? Stanley Parable. Don't know what that is. I'll have to check it out. Caleb says, so Oxhorn, you've never done an official video on them, and you've only briefly mentioned their name. But what is your opinion on the Enclave in Fallout, and how would you react if they showed up in 76? I haven't done much on them because I haven't met them yet in Fallout 3. I did the first time I played Fallout 3. Really, my only experience with the Enclave is dealing with the Enclave remnants in Fallout New Vegas. Though at the very beginning of Fallout 2, they do arrive and mow down your entire vault. So they're not good guys. But I don't know enough about them to really comment on them. Conduit says, good evening, Oxhorn. I pre-ordered 76 this week. My offer still stands on being your tour guide through West Virginia, by the way. Thank you. But I want to discover it myself. I want to stumble upon all the secrets and make videos revealing them. That's what I want to do. Vellingham says, if you get around to playing Wolfenstein The New Order, be prepared. That game is going to break your heart so many times, especially the first levels. Oh dear. There have already been a few really broken heart moments in The New Order, or the Old Blood, that we're currently playing. So yeah, I'll have to get prepared. Prower26 says, Jacob Prower here. I changed my channel name. I like the name. Dawson says, yes, it is part of Van Buren lore. I had to split up my comment because YouTube only allows so many words. Ah. That makes sense. J Beans says, hi, Mr. Oxhorn, a new fan here, despite watching you now and then for years. I love your storytelling and dedication to the Fallout universe. Well, thank you. It's just something about the Fallout universe. It never gets tiring for me. Rainbow Fabulous says, hey, Oxhorn, when 76 comes out, do you see yourself playing with others or playing solo or a bit of both? A bit of both. Primarily, I want to do my own thing. But there will be moments where I'll need to talk with others and trade with others and sell to others and ask questions and launch nukes. And at those times, I'm perfectly happy to play with others. Jeremiah Golder says, so if the Brotherhood is like any other NPC in 76, then shouldn't they be dead/gone from the region? Might make things better about them being in-game. Also, name the bar Scotch, Stogies, and Secrecy. That is a good name for a Scotch/cigar/detective agency bar. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be finding alive NPCs that you can talk with much, or who give you quests. Now, there will be some NPCs, as we learned from the robots and the wandering super mutants we talked with in my gameplay. But yeah, I think you're right. If the Brotherhood did make it to West Virginia, they're probably dead. But the intriguing thing is trying to figure out why they went to begin with. Why would Elder Maxon send the Brotherhood to West Virginia? And trying to find out what killed them. Hi, Oxhorn, says Line Cliche. I'll need to buy a PC. I'd also like to start making YouTube content. What should I get? Will you update your play and broadcast equipment? Yeah, I haven't updated my broadcast equipment yet because I'm still building my new PC. But once it's done, I will. It's hard because if you've never built a PC before, it can get complicated. A lot of weird things can go wrong, as we discovered in my broadcast today. If you're new to it and you just want to plug and play, get a gaming PC that's already made and then broadcast from it, I can't recommend which one because I build all of mine. Rusty Golf Club says, sorry if the message was butchered last time. The servers are described as a service. This scares me greatly. I love the content. Please don't hate me. I'm not going to hate you, my friend, but Fallout 76 is a service. I mean, we're paying for access to a game which is on their servers, which we have to log in to play. So it's one of those things where I don't know if learning that they describe private servers as a service means we're going to have to pay for it. Although, now that I think about it, that would make sense. But then that means that we wouldn't be using our own computer as a server. So does that mean they're not going to allow us to use our own computers as servers? Well, I mean, a lot of speculation. We don't really know the answer. Not Who You Think I Am says, not sure how I feel about the blank holotape. On one hand, it could be fun to see what others can come up with, but it could also just be full of annoying clutter. Yeah, but do bear in mind that I was just speculating about what the blank holotape could be used for. It could be that we record our own holotapes, or maybe they work like blank books from Old World Blues, where we use a blank holotape to make a duplicate of another holotape, like a recipe, for example. In which case, it wouldn't be user-generated content at all. Leonard Whelland says, Oxhorn, I have plans on RPing as a noodle cup shop owner. Will you come by my shop and buy some noodle cups from me? Yes. And I promise to only speak in Japanese. Caffeinated Headshots says, hey, Oxhorn, we may never play together in Fallout 76, but knowing I'll be running the same wastes as one of my heroes will be amazing. Cheers. Well, I'm humbled and honored. Thank you very much. But you know what? And we don't need Fallout 76 for that to be the case. We both play the other Fallout games, and we're still wandering the same wasteland, even though they're single-player games. Oh no, don't yawn on camera. Ah. Jason M says, will you stream on Twitch at all? Probably not. I don't have a very big following on Twitch. I got in trouble the last time I tried to stream on Twitch. They said that I was breaking my terms of service for restreaming to both Twitch and YouTube. So I'm like, forget Twitch. I'm going to stick to YouTube for now. Siggy says, Oxhorn, I know you've probably been asked this over and over again, but have you been thinking about trying out the Elder Scrolls or with the 6th one, or maybe Starfield when it comes out? I have thought about it. I'm probably not going to get into the Elder Scrolls. Starfield, however, looks really interesting, as much as we've seen, which is like one spaceship and a planet. But yeah, Starfield sounds interesting. Blossomy Lion with a wonderful tip. Thank you, sir. Says, huge fan back again. Just wondering what kinds of DLC are you hoping they add? Anything from additional map content or areas, or to more enemies and the addition of Scotch and slacks? Love you, man. Keep it up. Yeah, well, it's hard for me to answer that question because there's so much that I haven't seen in West Virginia. So at the moment, I don't need anything else. I want to explore the game. Eventually, I'll get to the point where we'll need an expansion, and that expansion will likely take the form of a new location, not a new continent, but a new state to explore, maybe another part of West Virginia, or maybe an underground, subterranean military complex that's so vast that it's DLC-sized. The possibilities are endless. Jack Duggan says, hey, Oxhorn, do you have any plans of playing Bioshock 2 or Bioshock Infinite in the near future? I greatly enjoyed your playthrough of the first game. Yeah, I enjoyed Bioshock as well. I think I'm enjoying Wolfenstein a bit more. I'll probably... But you know what? My live streams are all going to be consumed with Fallout 76. So I'm going to be playing Fallout 76 for quite some time. And then there's going to be Cyberpunk and Metro all coming out. A lot of new content to sift through. I probably won't be revisiting the Bioshock series for quite some time. David Villa Skeptics says, hey Oxhorn, what will be your plan of attack for your gameplay and playstyle in Fallout 76? My plan of attack is to keep my head down, hope I don't get noticed, and just play the game by myself. Do a lot of exploring. Focus on the main story is what I'm going to do first. So I really want to get the main story nailed down, do a series on the story of Fallout 76. And once that series is done, start talking about some of the other minor locations. Maybe do some gameplay videos about weapons and how to spec a character, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to be focusing primarily on the major story. Kaylee O'Cass says, Oxhorn, do you think they'll have a DLC as big as Nuka World? Yeah, I mean, I have to go back to my MMO days. I played a lot of World of Warcraft, a lot of Dark Age of Camelot, and each time they released an expansion, they were huge. Just new weapons, new items, new consumables, new races, new monsters, new lands. I have every expectation that when it's time for an expansion to Fallout 76, that it's going to be massive, on the scale of Nuka World or even more. Adrian says, Oxhorn, thanks for making my night after a hard day of work and school. You're indeed welcome. Thanks for coming. Ethan James says, hey, Mr. Oxhorn, would you recommend getting the new Fallout to someone who's a dead single-player player? Who's a dead single-player player? Are you dead? Are you speaking from beyond the grave? Or are you saying that you're dead set on playing a single player? That's probably what you're saying. No, I mean, it's a decision we're all going to have to make for ourselves. My stance is that there's enough content in 76 that's reminiscent of the single-player versions of Fallout to make me want to play Fallout 76. If it was just, you know, a procedurally generated landmass with a bunch of people running around, I wouldn't play the game. It wouldn't be interesting. I'm playing the game because there's lore, because there's all of the things about a single-player version of Fallout that I'm familiar with, that I liked in the game, that I'm looking forward to consuming. That's why I'm going to play it. And in my videos, I wanted to show all of that off so that other people who are concerned about the multiplayer aspect could see all of the stuff that's very familiar to them from other Fallout games and decide for themselves whether or not it's enough for them to play the multiplayer game. Oxhorn, would you want the Enclave to return? Not really. I want to see new factions. I don't need to see the ones we're familiar with. Bellows says, good evening. I'm glad I caught you on Scotch and Smoke Rings. It's the highlight of my work week. Thanks for making the daily grind even more better. Well, thank you for coming to the program. Binary says, donating again because I have to know about that TV back there. Yeah, I'm working on getting it fixed. It's broken. I bought it because it was going to be a big set piece in my office, but then it arrived broken. So now I have to figure out how to fix it before I can turn it into a set piece. All right, a few more questions, then it's time for Wolfenstein. Ethan says, what's the story behind that Philco pedestal telly? The story is, the plan is I wanted to have a Philco Predicta because that model of Philco Predicta is what Bethesda used to create their Radiation King TVs in Fallout 3 in New Vegas and Fallout 4. So my plan was to turn on that TV and have it constantly playing all of the Vault Boy infomercials, all of the holotapes, all of the special videos, all of the pre-war commercials that we got from Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, looping on repeat as sort of a background set piece. When I get it fixed, if I get it fixed, that's what I want to do. Daniel McCready says, hey, I actually love all your content, but I have especially been enjoying your series on LA on Noir. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you very much. I'll get back to it soon. Not Who You Think I Am says, have you read the Metro 2033 novels? They are quite possibly my favorite sci-fi horror stories that I've read in a long time. I haven't read them, but the games are great, and if the books are anything like the games, it's got to be great. Stagnaforcer says, hey, Oxhorn, love your content, and I hope you're having a great night. Do you happen to know if there are cowboy hats in Fallout 76? I'd love to be like Lucas Sims in my player-made settlement. I didn't see any, but I'm sure there could be. Justice Cutright says, what do you think the Mothman is going to turn out to be like? I think it's going to look like exactly like his statue that we saw at the Mothman Museum in my video on the museum. Will he be a villain or a good guy? I don't know. It's kind of ambiguous. Hey, thanks to new member, One Aspect. All right, ladies and gents, time to turn off my music and start playing Wolfenstein. Now, while I have this full screened, I'm not going to be able to see your comments. Sorry about that, so I won't be able to answer any more comments. But glad to have you here, and you're welcome to join me as we play through this game. Right? Right. Right, let's do this. We last left in Chapter 7, Old Town.
The church ruins. Helga's gotta be there. Whatever she's doing, it's bad, and you gotta stop it. Then snatch the goddamn folder. Only one more hill, Billy boy. Only one more.
Nice internal monologue directions. Actually, I just realized that I should be able to see your comments on my second computer here. Let me see if I can get them up. And if I can, then I can see what you're saying. There we go. Okay, now, when we last left off, I found this amazing machine. and I'm really excited to get to using it. Oh no. Oh, it's great. Oh, I can't break that, all right? It's so bloody and horrible. All right. Now, I don't want to give up on my cool new find here. See, what gun do I have equipped right now? The shock hammer? Let's move to my rifle. So. Ooh, bongo, 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 I don't want to leave the Congo, no, 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 no. Upsie daisy. Banana Train says, Oxhorn, for crying out loud, will you tap that ash? I will when it gets long enough. Ah. And my cigar is out of itself. I know, scintillating YouTube, standing still while lighting a cigar. Okay. What? All right, door. Go away. Ah, the carnage. Hey, what you want? Oh, that works. Holy cannoli. I think that's all of them. Gotta loot up. What's with this music, though? It's like a permanent suspense. And it's not going to resolve, is it? Oh, fire. Right, fire hot. So wait, I can use guns in this? I can! Oh, have you guys been telling me that? I can use my shock hammer. Oh, I can do both. Oh, come on. are you doing? Okay, any others? Oh, I got him through a wall. Looks like I'm stuck. All right. My dearest daughter Yulia, writing this letter, hoping to deliver it myself, I fear that will not be the case. That morning, all those months ago, it was so difficult to part from you. I hope you understand this. Forgive me, but my obligation to fight for the fatherland compels me. I am locked inside a house. I have barricaded myself from the monsters walking around outside. I have food to last me for a couple of days. Maybe, if God wills it, I will survive. But I think not. Eberhard used dynamite to open the stone door. It was a disaster. One of our men, Fritz, was hit by debris falling from a cave ceiling. Then something began leaking out of the opening. Some kind of gas. Fritz died later that night from his head wound. I was with him at the time. When I left, I heard a strange, awful shrieking, and the medic who was taking care of him started screaming. I ran back over there and saw him, Fritz. He was standing up again. He had been dead just seconds ago. I assure you, my daughter, he was moving strangely, shambling towards the medic, swiping at him with hands formed like claws. The poor man tried to defend himself, but the dead thing tore his throat out. Ah! I know this sounds horrible, but I need to write it down. You are old enough to now handle it. Okay. Managed to escape with a few of the others. One of the scientists from the expedition told me that the green gas was some kind of biochemical agent. It infects the brain of the recently dead. Okay, we're getting the lore explanation for the zombies. I like this. That's good. Causes them to be trapped in a dead-alive state. Only focuses on death and destruction. He rambled on about using this gas in war, but I stopped listening at that point. He was killed a few hours later. I miss you, my beloved daughter. I will do my best to stay alive, but I want you to know that if I do not live to see you graduate from the League of German Girls, know that I will forever be with you in your heart. That's comforting. Your loving father, Helmut. Like Helmut Spargel? Oh, man. Well, I'm glad none of them can use this walking cat thing. Uh-oh. Another crack in the earth. Go! Okay. Any more zombies? Zombie. Nope. Okay. Oh, yep. What's in the house? key.
Are you still there, Blaskovich?
I'm here, Kessler. What's your status?
Status is airborne. I took over at Zeppelin, flying it to Berlin to spread the flyers.
You're crazy as a loon, Kessler.
I know I will not make it out alive. It's a strange feeling to meet your end with determination. But I feel a sense of, what's the word? Glückseligkeit, bliss. I hope that someday you will know this too.
I hope so, too.
Hope he doesn't die. Of course he's gonna die. It's Wolfenstein. Ooh. Fire. At least he's dying doing what he loved. Killing Nazis. Well, I think I've explored everything. Nope. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to go much farther with my machine. Oh! Back to my machine. Can I go through? What about this gate over here? Can I just... Nope, that's what I have to do. I have to unlock it. All right. This thing is not good very long distance, is it? Handy that their bodies are surrounded by fire, make them great sniping targets. Oh. Am I going to get attacked anywhere else? That guy almost came up behind me. What am I doing? Ah, wrong way. Okay, got to open the gate. Open the gate. Okay. Hello. Gosh, they keep coming. Well, all right. Hey! Okay. Not cool. When will they stop? I don't like this at all. I don't like this. Ah! He's shambling faster. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's out of ammunition, isn't it? Why did I pick that back up? Okay. Oh. Where's that one? Ah! Oh, doggone Nazi zombies. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ah. No. What? Oh, this thing doesn't look good. Damn it, crickets! Right. Uh-huh. Need better ammunition. Okay, there's that gate. How do I open it? Yes. Run to the run. Oh, really? Come on, really? Did I do that? I did, didn't I? I can't believe I did that. I thought I was going to be smart. It was going to be right there, make my job easy. But no, I blocked the pressure. I'm an idiot. I dropped that again. Don't need that. Can't find any ammunition. More ammunition. Where's that? Put it down. Nope. Keep that. Nope. Don't pick it up. Okay. A little bit of tea. Hydration. Scotch. Courage. Yeah, I gotta get it. I'm only at 56 armor. Ah! Let's go! Okay. Okay. We made it to the top. What's on the other side of this door? Great. Climb the wall. Only way out of here is over that wall in the church ruins. But it's too high to reach. Maybe I can use this ladder burger thing? Ladder boater. Any loot? Yes, I will climb it, but I want to loot first. So. Okay. Gold, gold, gold. Got to get my gold. Nope, no gold. Usually they leave a gold bar around here somewhere. If you get out of the thing, no reward. No reward for getting out of my metal dog thing. Ooh, what's up there? Nope. Okay, back to the loader birder thing. Okay. Exit level. Oh no, I have to leave it behind. No, not my metal dog. It's a full moon. We've got zombies and it's a full moon. So we're gonna get what? Where Nazis now? Chapter 8, the dig site. The source. Oh no, what? Zombie Nazi officers now too? Okay. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to use this silenced weapon if... Of course they turned it into a creepy church crypt. What's behind door number 1? Nothing. Door number 2.
Hast du etwa Angst, Hans?
Great. Hate to see what these guys look like. Let them do my work for me. Oh, that's great. Let them do it for me. Brilliant. Oh, man, I love this. Oh. Oh no, and I'm out. Not my sniper. I love that little rifle. Note from SS archaeologist Randolph. Good night, sweetie. Have a good night. Good night, Gavin. Have a good night. I suggest that we dig a tunnel into the northwestern part of the graveyard. There are many clues that lead me to believe we could more easily find the way into King Otto's underground complex by going that way. Genius says, let's dig into a graveyard. We would need to dig very deep, and we would need a lot more manpower to build things like elevators, rail tracks, power conduits, and so on. When you have the time, please come in and consult me. Randolph. Frau Ostenbrufner. As you requested, here is the translated letter of King Otto. Gottfried Whitaker. Otto, by the grace of God, Holy Roman Emperor, to Venerable Conrad, Abbot of Wolfsburg, his most kind greeting. Because of the nature of our problem and the significant threat we face both from illegible, I have, oh great, the one thing I want to know, and it's illegible. I have made the decision to end your investigations into the parchments from Constantinople. I am well aware, my loyal friend, how dedicated you have been to illegible, and a gift bestowed upon me by God. This latest construction, however, is an abomination from hell. I know you have frequently complained about the parchments being incomplete, but I suspect it is actually the devil that is trying to steer us onto the left-hand path. We shall not give in to his wishes. Entire paragraph is illegible. By the power vested in me from our Lord, I command you to burn everything in the tunnels, destroy everything and let nothing live. You must leave nothing behind which can reveal what has taken place in those tunnels. I want all evidence of your illegible. That's a convenient illegible. They're all convenient. In Wolfsburg destroyed. You must burn the map of the complex. And if you can't destroy the illegible in the inner vault, then seal it shut so that none may enter. Burn the entire city to the ground if you must. I will send my best men to assist you in this task. If word escapes of what went down there, my dear friend, you know I will be required to have your head chopped off and illegible. Do this, then return to Paderborn, and I will make sure to reward you justly and have you assigned to an illegible. All right, I'm looking at the comments. I know you're telling me to look at the comments. I'm looking. What?
Erneute Befragung von Patientnummer A12, Michael Lehmann, zur verlorenen Karte von König Otto. Hallo Michael, wie geht's Ihnen heute?
Ich habe Kopfschmerzen.
Kopfschmerzen?
Ja,
Sehr stark.
ja, das muss von den Medikamenten kommen.
Tut mir leid, Michael. Es ist zu Ihrem Besten, das verstehen Sie doch. Stört es Sie, wenn ich bei unserem Gespräch Wein trinke?
Nein, das stört mich nicht.
Also, bevor unser letztes Treffen unterbrochen wurde, hatten Sie von einer Karte gesprochen, richtig?
Ich denke schon, ja.
Gut. Warum erzählen Sie mir nicht, wie Sie diese Karte gefunden haben? Bitte, also haben Sie keine Angst. Ich stehe auf Ihrer Seite.
Also, mir war damals schon längere Zeit aufgefallen, dass einer der Töne der Kirchenorgel verstimmt war. Immer wenn ich die Taste drückte, gab die Orgel ein seltsam pfeifendes Geräusch von sich. Mehrere Kirchenbesucher hatten sich deswegen schon bei mir beschwert. Als ich dem Priester davon erzählte, sagte er, dass es nicht auffallen würde und ich mir keine Sorgen machen bräuchte. Irgendwie kam mir das seltsam vor und ich wurde misstrauisch. Der Priester stammte aus einer Familie mit weit zurückreichenden Verbindungen zu Wolfsburg. Er war angesehen und hatte großen Einfluss auf die Stadtpolitik. Ich wusste, dass er Geheimnisse von Wolfsburg kannte, von denen niemand sonst wusste. Also bin ich eines Abends nach dem Gottesdienst da, um zu sehen, was Marktplatz ging und die kleine
What was inside? Tell us, tell us.
Er griff suchend mit der Hand hinein,
Illegible.
ein altes Pergament herausholte. Ein sehr altes. Er legte es vorsichtig in einen Koffer. Dann verließ er die Kirche. Ich folgte ihm nach draußen. An jenem Abend waren viele Leute wegen traditioneller Feierlichkeiten unterwegs. Ich konnte ihm leicht folgen, ohne dass er mich entdeckte. Er ging durch die Altstadt bis zur alten Kirchenruine. Als ich die Kirche betrat, war er gerade dabei, mit einem Spaten den Boden neben einem der alten Gräber der Ritter von König Otto auszuheben. Neben dem Loch war ein Erdhaufen aufgeworfen und er grub immer weiter, bis ein Spaten auf etwas Hartes stieß. Er entfernte eine dünne Erdschicht und darunter kam eine
Ooh,
Steintür
a stone door in the graveyard?
Eine sehr alte Steintür. Der Priester war außer sich vor Freude und tanzte wie ein Verrückter. Er entdeckte mich. Ich wollte wegrennen, aber er folgte mir und stieß mich um, sodass ich mit dem Kopf auf einen Stein schlug. Er stellte mir Fragen, was ich wüsste, wie ich gesehen hätte, was ich wollte. Dann sagte er mir, ich solle mir keine Sorgen machen und alles würde gut. Dann nahm er einen Stein und hielt ihn hoch über
Oh
seinen
no.
Kopf. Ich hatte keine Zeit nachzudenken. Ich musste etwas tun, sonst hätte er mich erschlagen. Also stieß ich ihm die Finger in die Augen. Ich spürte, wie ich ein Auge durchschnitt und mein Finger in etwas
Come on.
steckte.
Oh.
Warmes Blut rann aus seinem Kopf. Mein Gott, ich kann es immer noch spüren.
Beruhigen Sie sich, Michael. Beruhigen Sie sich. Niemand wird Sie deshalb
This is
beschuldigen.
disgusting.
Das waren Sie nicht Mutwillen. Erzählen Sie weiter.
Ja, er schrie und hielt sich die Hände vor die Augen, auch als das Blut zwischen seinen Fingern durchquoll. Und ich hob den Stein auf, mit dem er mich töten wollte, und schlug ihm damit fest ins Gesicht.
Ooh.
Ich muss ihm die Nase gebrochen haben, denn ich hörte das Knacken von Knochen. Er fiel auf den
Good night, Bella Lestrange. Thank you.
immer wieder auf den Kopf, bis sein Schädel
Oh.
und er sich nicht mehr bewegte. Ich richtete mich auf und sah, was ich angerichtet hatte. Ich wusste nicht, was ich tun sollte. Also nahm ich den Koffer mit dem alten Pergament, das er aus der Orgel geholt hatte, und ging nach Hause. Als ich es mir später genauer ansah, erkannte ich, dass es eine Karte war. Eine sehr alte Karte. Es schienen irgendwelche Tunnel unter der alten Kirche abgebildet zu sein. Aus der Zeit, bevor sie eine Ruine war. Ich versteckte die Karte unter den Dielen in der Küche. Ich bin nicht mehr zu der Steintür in der Kirchenruine zurückgegangen.
Ist sie immer noch dort?
Ja, bestimmt.
Ist sie dort sicher?
Ja, ist sie.
Gut.
Was passiert jetzt mit mir?
Now you die, Michael.
Kann ich wieder zurück?
Ich denke, dass Sie dafür zu krank sind, aber das muss natürlich Ihr Arzt beurteilen. Ich werde alles tun, um Ihre Lage zu verbessern. Bringen Sie ihn zurück auf die Station. Die Befragung ist beendet.
Man, stone doors in graveyards, pipe organs, hiding maps, fingers into eyeballs and butter, and ugh, nasty. Right. Well, no sense in being hasty and rushing out. Let's explore a bit and get as much ammo as we can while staying stealthy, of course. Oh. Note from Helga. Second entry transcribed from Father Gregory's diary, April 7th, 1935. I have found an old map, very old, along with a letter from King Otto, the Holy Roman Emperor. I knew it, the tunnels, they are real, O Lord. Thank you for kindly showing me a sign. Could these be the same tunnels he discovered? Note from Helga, third entry transcribed from Father Gregory's diary, August 19th, 1935. August has been so hot, I'm sweating like a pig, and while the heat is melting the skin off my bones, this research into what lies buried underneath the defiled church has started to haunt me in my dreams. It's been going on for the past few weeks now. I believe I must desist. I believe it's the work of the devil, demons and witches working for the beast, trying to fool me. I have seen them following me disguised as humans. Ah, so that's why he attacked. Well, I will not be fooled by them. I have tried to burn the letter and the map I found, but I cannot. I will hide them instead. Keep them safe. Man, I'm getting all sorts of goodies, but they all wear off by the time I need to use them. Okay, I think I explored this corner. Let's move forward. No, I don't need all that, do I? I could go down. I could go up. Oh, man, do I go down or do I go up? Let's go down. Oh, dead end. Before going up, let's go around. Oh, should I jump? Oh no, should I try? Let's do it. Ah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Oh, I guess I didn't need to jump. Right here. Right. Up we go. I wish I had a sniper rifle, not this little pistol. I hear one of those big boys nearby. Yep, there he is. What was that? What was that? He was... Ah. How do you kill those guys? Let's let the big guy take care of him. Oh, that's right. I have to... Oh, there's some sort of electric thing. I forgot. That's right. But where do I find it? Guess I have to let him pass? Guess I won't kill him. Up or down? Down.
What drives his madness? You're like a blind worm tumbling your way through the soil, deeper and deeper into the rotting bowels of the earth, into the dark places better left forgotten.
Thank you for the poetry there. But how did, whatever his name is. There's an arrow pointing over here. I guess nothing? He's coming back. Great. I missed my opportunity. Oh. Ooh, oh. 4 meters, 5 meters. He's walking by close. Ooh. They left this guy to die. Seven meters. Must be above me. Come on, turn around, turn around. Whoops! Whoopsie daisy. Ah. Oh! I could have come up here. Whoops. Well, I found the... Whoop, okay. Note from Randolph. We've encountered the ancient catacombs now. I am haunted by recurring nightmares. They wake me up every night. I feel that the deeper we progress, the more intensely horrifying the nightmares become. The acute sense of horror abates after I have had my breakfast and coffee, but during the waking hours, a nameless dread builds up, a fear of what lies hidden in the deep. I am overcome by waves of anxiety every time Eberhardt, the dig foreman, comes to report excavation results. Yesterday, I thought I heard a ghostly voice in the dark. Couldn't make out the words. Maybe I should go to the infirmary, but then, well, what did Helga think of me? Would she think I was weak? That's the last thing I want. I pray this project will be over soon so we can leave this accursed village. Oh, no wonder you were so close. Whoop, shouldn't have done that, huh? Okay, what has the most ammo? Not this, but it'll do. Hey, thank you for the tip, Rye Tesler. He says he had to go to the ER for stitches in his arm, and it's healing up well. Have a good night, my friend. Jiminy crickets. Okay, I need to get up behind that guy. Ah! I thought he went the other way. No. Ah. Oh, come on. At least he's back to his patrol. Ah. Thank you, Parker. Can I walk across there? I don't think I can. What is he shooting at?
What are you searching for?
No! Yes. Okay. What was that? What was that? Located the antechamber to the inner vault. Curious puzzle mechanism here connected to some kind of gate. Need to solve to open the way to the entrance of the inner vault. Helga believes she can solve it quickly. Her mental acuity is impressive, but I have my doubts on how she will perform on this task. It looks highly complex, very impressive indeed for the work of a 10th century abbot. Did she figure it out, or are we going to have to do it? Status report, Helga managed to solve that puzzle. She did, okay. And the stone button will now reveal a staircase every time it is used. Behind the gate, we found another passage blocked off by rocks. Pardon me. Should be a stone door behind these rocks leading up to the inner vault. Need to prepare removal of rocks. Would rather avoid dynamite could damage the inner door. Some of the men seem to have developed jelly spines. Complains about strange sounds coming from behind the rocks, many of them complaining about nightmares, silly, childish superstitions. The men need to celebrate. Will allow those who have worked hardest to go to the tavern some night. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. Up or down, up or down. Managed to remove the rocks with dynamite. Stone door leading to the inner vault was damaged, like I feared. Some kind of green gas started leaking out of the crack. Had no smell. Curious. We'll wait for Helga. Some of the men are talking about a curse. That we should not be here. Fritz died in the explosion. A stone came loose from the cavern ceiling and fell on his head. Tragic. All that emotion. Men are getting irritable. I hear them shouting as I write this. Must deal with this immediately. Then why'd you take the time to write the note? Oh. Any more? I hear more. Okay. Stone door. But what was this way? Drop. I think I'll take the stone door rather than the drop. Although, what if that leads to, like, a secret? Don't want to risk it. Man. Okay. We're okay. Okay. What is down there? Armor. Ooh. What is down here? Gold. How do I get the gold? Thanks for the tip, C80. Which soul survivor would I be? I think the courier is probably the most fun. What's in his mouth? Is that a pretzel? I think it's a pretzel. Oh dear. Oh, hope you're not afraid of heights. Ooh. Gold over there. Ooh, can I do it? Oh, they're shouting, man.
Diese Beschimpfungen sind inakzeptabel.
Helga. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not going to push that lever just yet. Okay.
You ready for what's down here, Helga?
Oh dear. More doors. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Better gun next time. Better gun.
You ready for what's down here, Helga?
Okay. Scotch. My God. I can't believe what I've just seen. We cleared the way into the inner vault. One of the men died in the explosion, while the others took care of the body. I could not resist opening the gate into the vault, despite what Helga said. I put a cloth over my mouth because of the strange green-colored gas, but it got into my nose and left a burning sensation. Entering the inner vault, I was struck with an overwhelming sense of awe. Such an impressive feat to build such a vast chamber this deep into the mountain. There seems to be no end to it. There must be treasures hidden here, magnificent treasures of real historical value. Also, I observed the unidentifiable gas released from the cracks in the ground caused by the earthquake. In front of the entrance, there is a mechanism of sorts, symbols on it, the same as on the map we retrieved from Helga's patient. Maybe it controls the aperture at the bottom of the pit. Helga has the map, so I cannot test this hypothesis yet. Something seems to be locked away there underneath the earth. Hoping Helga will get here soon so we can study this further. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No.
Friends, mein Ober, Sie können Ihre Finger nicht vom Feuer lassen, ne? Aber diesmal verbrennen Sie.
Oh.
You're that fucking American, aren't you? Who killed my hunter Rudy? I must say you're stubborn. What have we here? Ja, das hätte uns etwas Zeit erspart.
Ich verstehe diese Symbole nicht.
Oh, Fortuna, so strange and unpredictable. I could just... I feel like I'm a child again, digging for the treasures in the woods. This moment will put me in the history books amongst the greatest of adventurers.
You'll always be just another Nazi.
Sehen Sie, Schreiner.
Ja, aber das ändert nichts. Bisher konnten Sie weder mich noch General Strasse beeindrucken, Helga.
Meine Güte, Schreiner, Sie sind ein solcher Korrentenkacker. Hier, sehen Sie. Der Code auf König Ottos Karte entspricht genau den Symbolen hier auf diesem Podest. Das ist die Kombination, Sie Idiot! Na bitte.
Sind Sie sicher, dass das richtig ist, Helga?
Nehmen Sie sie nicht gleich ins Hemd, Sie Reicher.
Yeah. Coward is one word. What? What? Oh.
Hallo. Du bist also König Ottos kleines Geheimnis, was? Du siehst so einsam aus.
Oh, lonely. He looks lonely.
Ich habe lecker Fleisch für dich mitgebracht. Ja, American Flash. Gaggenhöhe.
He's gonna eat her.
Na bitte. Sehen Sie, Schreiner.
What the heck?
Sehen Sie. So beherrscht man ein Monster. Wollen Sie es auch mal versuchen?
This is ridiculous.
Helga, ich bin beeindruckt.
Aber warum hat König Otto dein schönes Gesicht vor der Welt versteckt? Hm? Egal. Zeit zum Fressen.
Feed.
Anna, Blicke!
Called it.
Meine Güte!
Oh, you want me now? Okay. Great. Now what? Run upstairs. Okay. Bombs. Open up. Open up. Ooh. I see. What? Come on! This is not the time. Ah! You morons. What the heck? Okay. Defeat the monster. Defeat the monster. Right. What if I'm down here when I do that? Oh, he smashes. Okay. I got an idea. Oh. I wish there was an indicator as to how close he is to dying. Oh! How many? I've got 2 of those. All right. Ah. Oh, yes. Ah! That's glitched out. What was that? Whoa! Well, that was a mistake. Whoa, what's getting me? What's getting me? The fire, huh? Oh, is that all it took? Ah.
You don't understand. You never were in control.
What was that?
Jesus Christ. Nazi bits fucking everywhere. Here he is.
Fergus.
Come on. Give me a hand, you lazy bastard. How's the head, Blazkowicz?
How'd you find me?
We got a distress call from Pippa. We found her body.
They got Wesley too, Fergus.
Bloody hell.
Come on, miss. We have to get you out of here.
Yeah, listen, Blazko. We can't change what happened. You did a hell of a job finding that folder.
What's in the
Which
folder?
means we've got the location of Death's Head's compound. Yeah, We bloody got it. Can you believe it?
There's this dream. Something important. It's gone when I wake up. No time for dreams, I guess.
Ah, damn it! Forgot to take a piss before we left. Why didn't you remind me, Blasco?
I look like your babysitter, Fergus.
Fuck it. Almost there. You sure killed that big fucking monster proper, BJ.
Took me a while, yeah.
Biggest one is still out there. This may be our last chance to topple the Nazi Empire. Now it's time to get it done, eh? And the world is counting on us and all that. No pressure. Except for my goddamn bladder.
Come on.
The monster never dies, no matter how many times you kill it. Just sheds its skin and changes form. I feel the weight of the world pushing me down. I try to carry it nonetheless. One last time. Then I can rest.
We did it. That was the prequel to the next one, which is The New Order, I believe. So that's what we'll play, Lord willing, in next week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Thanks for joining me this week on this week's program. Had a blast. Didn't think I'd be playing this long. What? Yeah, I didn't think I'd be playing this long, but we managed to get it done.
I have changed my name so often.
So, schedule. There was no video today because I've been working really hard all week on Fallout 76 and trying to organize my house. And no video tomorrow for the same reason. But tomorrow I'll be working really hard on some new content about the Creation Club. I know the Creation Club released a few new items while I was gone. They chose that to be a wonderful time to release some new content while we were all away in West Virginia. But I'm back, and I'm going to tackle that now. So this weekend, Creation Club content. Next week, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program of New Vegas 3 and Fallout 4 lore, as well as some L.A. Noire, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining me on this live stream where we finally beat the old blood. And remember to tune in next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel. But I've got to head out now. Gonna go to bed. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.